The Vergas Show is brought to you by Spanky Stone Hearth, casual fine dining on beautiful Rose Lake. Vergas State Bank, your locally owned community full-service bank. Vergas Event Center for gatherings large or small, including weddings. Vergas Liquor Store, where all the profits profit Vergas.
Make the right call. Call Hanson's, the most trusted name in plumbing and heating.
Hi, welcome to the Vergas Show. I'm Sherri Hanson. I'm doing your show today, and I'm also talking about Community Club. I'm the outgoing president of it, and I just kind of want to do a little wrap up. We're ending 2024. Hopefully you had a good year. I know Vergas had a good year, and I like to think that the Community Club is a big part of that. We work very hard, and we is the key word here, because even though I'm the acting president and outgoing, and I hear from a lot of people, thank yous, and so I thank you for that too. But it's a community process, it's a people process, and we have amazing volunteers. So 2024 was an awesome year. We had great events. We brought people to town, and we're kind of like, we're just riding on this high with it, and there's so many people to thank for that. And so keep April 30th on your schedule. If you've done anything, whether it be move a box for us, or chair an event, or spend the whole week working on Looney Day stuff, we're having a volunteer appreciation, and we want you there, because none of what happens in Vergas and through the Community Club events can happen without the number of volunteers that we have. And so I thank you. I'm publicly thanking you. And I'm also thanking you for the opportunity to be able to lead some of these events, and to be able to bring some of the ideas that we have to Vergas. A lot of people, will say to you, why do you do that? Or, why do you spend so much time? Maybe it's my kids that are saying that more than anything, but I do hear it. And I grew up at a time when my dad and Rodney Hanson and Gordy Dahlgren and Ronnie Goodman and Al Cade, that nucleus of people, they had ideas for the Community Club, and they sat down at the exact same tables that we're sitting down on, and came up with events and came up with ideas to make Vergas a place to come to, so that people could see all the different, wonderful businesses that we have, the wonderful resources that we have. And so then I can remember sitting around the supper table, 6 o'clock, you had a meal, and your whole family sat around, and you talked about your day, and maybe some families talked about how was school, or are you getting good grades. Our family talked about what's happening in Vergas. How can we, make it a better place, and talked about the city government in Vergas, and just how fortunate we were to live in Vergas. So that was ingrained in me. So when the opportunity came that I had the job here at the Vergas State Bank, and I had the opportunity and the open door to be able to help out in the community, it was like it was not a gift, but it wasn't required. It was like a privilege. It was a privilege to carry on with those people who started, 20 years previous, and had that vision, to carry on that vision, and to be able to lead people to share in that vision, to share in that hope that Vergas is just the place that you want to spend some of your weeks in summer, and you want to come down and shop. I think privilege is the right word, because I feel very privileged to be able to have carried on what they started, and I think we've made things better. And from when I started, everything was, the people that were before me on the Community Club, presidents and chair, and just even members, had this great foundation, and I think you learned by just doing the different things that were happening. And so, yeah, it was good. We've got a lot going on for 2025. I want to talk a little bit about that too. When I'm talking about the Vergas Community Club, I always like to go back to our mission statement. The Vergas Community Club's a partnership between business and citizens dedicated to create the best community to visit, work, and do business. Pretty much encompasses it, doesn't it? So the Community Club's role in all that is to hold events and bring people to town, And maybe when you come for Looney Days, you're not going to go into the grocery store and buy your groceries for the day, but you're going to know that the grocery store is there so that when you do need groceries, you can get them the next day. It's bringing an awareness to all the great things that we have going on in Vergas. And I think that we've done that. We have a membership drive coming up in February, and when the businesses get on board and say, we want to be a member, when you get actual citizens on board and say, we want to be a member, and when you, when you think about it, they pay to be a member of something that they're going to have to work at and be a part of and be on a committee, and that just means that they're invested in it because they know that there's just a lot of good that happens from it. I think it used to always just be Looney Days. People would have the Looney Days event. It started out as sidewalk sales and went into a parade, and during this Vergas Centennial, a lot of different events, and it's now Looney Days is a 4-day event. We've, as a committee and as the Vergas Community Club, have talked about it many times that because of our infrastructure, and anybody who's ever come to one of our events, all I have to do is say parking and you say, oh yeah, parking's horrible. But we've kind of reached our max. So I mean, we like to change out different things that happen during Looney Days, but we recognize that the 4 days, we've reached our max, not only with infrastructure, but also with volunteers of what they can do. So we focused a lot on some of the other events, and I want to talk to you a little bit about what those are going to be, because in 2025, we're going to start out with Maple Fest, obviously, and Maple Fest is just a celebration of all of our maple producers. We have so many local home producers that are out in the woods and out tapping those trees, and we just love to celebrate that, and a way to kind of maybe bring people out of hibernation after the last few months or whatever. But we'll have Maple Fest in April. It's the same weekend as Maplewood State Park does their tapping, and so you'll get to see demonstrations there. But you come to Vergas and there's different things going on down in the community. There's the big pancake breakfast, and so Maple Fest is kind of what we think of always as our kickoff. This year we'll be having Shops and Hops in June, and that will be a little different structure, but you're still going to come in, be able to shop in all the shops, but there's going to be a rib cook-off, and then we'll have our breweries, and it'll all be on Main Street, and have a festive. We'll probably have some music with that too. Downtown Art Camp has grown into a huge event for the community club, and because this, you know, I'll preface that by saying Community Club focuses also on family-friendly events, and so when you can bring your kids into town, drop them off, they can do an art project, and you sit outside and the sun is usually shining, and then that gets displayed for the whole year in front of the municipal building. That is really, I mean, we have up to 150, 200 kids that show up for that to just do their art project that has their name on it. So the Downtown Art Camp is really a lot of fun. Looney Days this year, keep in mind, is the weekend earlier. And so that's July 31st through the 3rd of August. Backroads Art Crawl will be there September. Hairy Man Festival, that one has gotten to be a lot of fun. And when I'm talking about Hairy Man Festival, I think this is the place where I want to talk about Pat Shannon. Pat Shannon recently has been on the Vergas Community Club, and he right now has entered hospice care, and so we did an honor for him. And the reason that I point him out is because you cannot look anywhere in the community of Vergas and not see a little piece of Pat Shannon. You go down to the trail and you see the huge tree, the huge fish thing he put up, all of the planters, that's all in the copper and the metals. You see our big planters and our pots that he got for us as far as for the planting. You see artwork and his copper. You go down to the park and you'll see a hairy man, larger than life. I remember going to him and saying, Pat, I need a hairy man, larger than life hairy man that's going to just stand out for always. And okay, and he does it. And so Pat Shannon brought beauty to Vergas so that when you come to any of these events, you're going to be able to see that. We wrap out our year with the wine walk, the holiday tour of homes, and small town Christmas, which is just like we like to think of our little hallmark. I know I'm wrapping it up here because we've only got a little bit of time on this, but I think I'm thanking you for the opportunity to bring events to Vergas, to be able to work with amazing people, to be able to work with the city of Vergas, and to just showcase and highlight all that Vergas has to offer. And our businesses, when people ask about how come Vergas does so well, our businesses encourage each other. They are happy when another business is doing well. They share each other's ideas on Facebook. Our businesses love every business that's in Vergas because they recognize if you come into theirs, you're maybe going to go next door too. And so we've got great businesses, we've got a great community, and it's just been a privilege to be a part of that. So you have a good day in Vergas.